So I'm here with Brian, with Brian's Lawn Maintenance, and we're going to get to know him a little bit and get to know his experiences at the GIE Expo last year and his expectations for this year. Stay tuned.
What the?
It's a little dirty. I got cameras, I got my work boots, I got a hedge trimmer,
Nice.
and a Tesla hat, whatever you need.
A Tesla hat?
You gotta keep the goals in front of you, man.
Yeah, man. So Brian, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how Brian's Lawn Maintenance started for you?
Yeah, honestly, it was 11 years ago, almost to date, where I was working part-time at a fertilizer company. And long story short, after some transitions there, I decided to take the jump, make the plunge, right, into going into business for myself and start my own lawn care landscaping business. I've known 10 or 11 years later today how it would have started and the journey that we would have went through. I would have said you were crazy, but yeah, it was about 10 years ago we decided to pick up our first lawnmower, pick up our first truck and trailer setup, and do the whole deal, and it's just been a crazy journey ever since. But yeah, literally I was working at a fertilizer company, making $11, $12 an hour. Fun experience, it was a really good program, but quite honestly, I always had that entrepreneur bug where I wanted to start my own program, my own business. Yeah. And long story short, we pulled the trigger on it, we started our own business, and like I said, looking back on it, it's been the best decision I've ever made. One thing most people don't know about me for sure would be the fact that how big I see probably the next 10 years. You know, everybody sees just a lawn care landscaping business, but it's way more than that. With what I've learned from YouTube and social media and networking with so many of you guys and just people in general to multiple businesses that I want to start in the future, I think we're just getting started for me in my entrepreneurial life. And I see like it's such a same sentiment with so many other people I talk to that own a lawn care landscaping business. You know what I mean? I just think so many people out there want to start multiple businesses like real estate or hotels and restaurants, and I don't think good lawn care landscaping is a good seed to start those other businesses because it's such a cash flow positive business if you do it right. I think it's tough too because when you see me like on social media or YouTube now and things are kind of more on autopilot because I still work really hard but I have different focuses. I don't think a lot of people saw me in that first 2, 3, 4 years. I wish I had a camera way back when documenting just the awkwardness I had in life with my business. Like how I was communicating to customers and my first initial flyers, you know what I mean? We made them on like Microsoft like Paint and like Word, you know what I mean? Like taking
You had to get started somewhere.
You had to get started somewhere. And so I always joke it's a miracle that we're still in business and as far as we are. And in the last 2 years, we've grown more in the last 18, 24 months than I did in the first 8 years, you know, but we've finally figured some stuff out and we've seen the fruit of that labor, which is always the fun part. Yeah. But that first 8 years, that was 8 years of just grind.
So was last year your first year at the GIE Expo?
Right, yeah, last year was.
What made you go last year? Like, what was your thought process for that?
Well, honestly, 2 years ago, I wanted to go to the GIE, but we had a personal date on the calendar. I had a friend's wedding to go to.
Okay.
So I was torn because I really wanted to check this out because it was so hyped up on social media.
Right.
And all my favorite YouTubers are going to be there, right? So
Right.
I really wanted to be there. I was like, I want to meet all these other guys that have YouTube channels and all the other lawn care guys, right? So it didn't get to work out that year, but the next year I said, no matter what, we're going to put it in the calendar. I told the wife, we're going to check this thing out. And so after watching so many different YouTubers and all the information that's out there on the GIE, I was like, yeah, this thing's going to be fun. Now, I had no clue that it was going to be as big as it was. It was crazy.
What were you expecting?
Honestly, like, I've been to events very similar that have a lot going on, but I'll now retract that statement because this was about 20 times as big as anything I've been to. Because I've been to trade shows and stuff like that, but nothing as big as the GIE. I mean, you hear all the stats where like you can't see everything even if you tried, you know, and then you're like, yeah, but I can do it, and then you realize there's no way.
Right.
You would need 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Definitely a blast. Demoing, like, dude, we probably demoed 1% of everything.
Seriously, there's so much you could do. You could spend an entire 2 days out here and 2 days in the show, and the show's only 2 days long.
Yeah, and not even see probably half of it.
Seriously.
It's awesome. So when I went there, I just had the expectation of like, you know, just going in. I didn't really, one of those guys where I don't have an agenda.
Okay.
I just wanted to kind of bop around and see what everybody else is doing.
Right.
And I thought that was a really cool way to go this time because, you know, I don't want to be like locked down at any one place or any one booth or anything I have to do.
Right.
But when I went there, it was so cool because the outdoor expo was such a completely different like tone.
Right.
Because you got to ride the equipment, try
Yeah.
everything, right? Indoors, you got to like shake hands with all the dealers and all the companies and all like the people that you network with online and social media.
So was your goal like, or I mean, I know you said you just wanted to kind of go and you know,
check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You had to have something, I guess. Like,
Right.
Did you want to try certain equipment, or
I did.
did you want to just meet people, or did you want to do a little bit of both of those things?
Sure.
Like what?
For me, I wanted to meet a lot of YouTube people because that was the reason I was going.
Okay.
You know, because I've tested a lot of equipment at my local dealers and my local shows. You know, we have something up here in Michigan.
Right.
So I was more familiar with the equipment that I knew, but I wanted to try all the equipment that I didn't know. You know, like my dealer sells, you know, brand ABC,
Right.
but we don't even get access to the other brands. So I wanted to try out their lawnmowers, their stand-ons, other handheld equipment.
Okay.
So that was the equipment side. And then
Right.
with social media, I wanted to meet all the different YouTubers, right? And then with the companies, get to actually meet the people that are passionate about our industry. You know, there's a lot of people there that eat, breathe, and sleep, you know, lawn care, landscaping, and in the green industry. And it was so cool to see, I guess, just kind of a mixture of all of that. I'm hanging out with two rock stars. Yeah, Kevin in Fall River and Brian at Top Notch. Those guys have awesome YouTube channels. You guys need to check them out. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good, how are you? Good, good. All right, guys, so I just got done hanging out with Brian and Top Notch and also Kevin from Fall River. It was a blast. Brian from Top Notch is probably the nicest guy you have ever met. He is a real-life teddy bear, nicest guy you've ever met. I went up to him and started shaking his hand. I'm like, hey, I'm one of your biggest fans. But he was super nice, man. It's so cool meeting all these different YouTube people.
So you're going again this year?
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the same expectations or the same plan, or do you have new expectations? Because things have changed.
Totally different. This year we have our whole calendar planned out by like per hour, and it's probably gonna be per half hour. Like the dealer day, like I can't wait to meet everybody from all the companies. Like we have to be surgical and strategic.
Right. Yeah.
Being kind of a video creator and content creator for social media and YouTube, but also like just being a civilian. You know,
Right.
I'm selfishly want to go for my reasons too,
Right.
and try out equipment like we were talking about.
Right.
But yeah, I think we have it kind of of broke down per hour. Like we want to see all the different booths, all the different companies that we use and we talk to, and then I want to see. I got to connect with all the other YouTubers out there to know where we're going to meet up, like the GIE After Party Rally.
Right.
That's probably like the best condensed spot to meet all your favorite people and everybody you want to network with and shake hands. But there's still times where I'm like, hey, we want to do a video and collab, or I want to ask you questions about your business growth the last 12 months.
Right.
So like I feel like per day it's gonna be different themed, but I gotta make sure I keep moving because you're just wandering around like a cow looking at a new gate, just like you're just like in awe, like looking around,
Right.
But this year I'm like, all right, now we gotta make sure we're pacing through everything.
Right.
Because dude, I probably only saw 10% of what I wanted to last year.
I think that's how it is for everyone the first time. I think everyone underestimates severely what's going on. So
100%.
I always like last night at the little meetup that we had, I was telling people, you need to plan.
Yes.
You need to plan and plan more than what you think you need to plan.
Totally.
Prepare yourself. Like you have no idea. You think you know, but you have no idea.
I thought I knew, and I heard people say that from people who have been there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And then I realized I have the wrong walking shoes. I had comfortable shoes, but I didn't have like actual walking running shoes. We had like no water, no backpacks. Like we were just, like I was like, what are we doing here? And we're totally, because it was so much fun because you didn't want to leave.
Right.
Like you didn't want to stop having conversations with people.
Right.
You didn't want to stop testing out equipment. Like I had so much stuff going on the inside, of the whole rally or the whole GIE Expo, where I never even got outside until Friday. Now this I'm going to force myself to get outside quicker because there's so much stuff I want to test drive and hang out, have fun.
And now they've given you more time to do that. This year they extended their time, so now they're in the middle of the day, basically on Wednesday. Now you can get started
already get out there
outside and just get after it.
Huge.
Because they've heard the message. All of us talking about how crazy it is and how hard it is to get that all into 2 days.
It's
so
tough.
now they've extended it a little bit. So.
Yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head with having a plan. Like I want to go to this company, this booth, because there's sometimes there's so much new stuff there where you just get like locked down, and that's always the fun stuff to see. But like you have to make sure like, oh, at 1 o'clock I need to be here because some company is doing something, and at 2:30 we need to be here, and then at 5 there's some meetup, and then at 8 I want to be at the rally. So you do have to have like a little bit of strategicness to it. I heard that last year. I kind of didn't follow that advice, and then literally I'm like, hey, where are you going? I'm like following this guy. I'm like, hey, where are you going? And,
but now you have a plan, and but I'll tell you, it's going to be completely different from your plan because now your channel has grown like significantly, from last year. So now there's going to be a ton more people that are going to know who you are, and they're going to stop you every step of the way. Yeah. So your little plan your big plan is going to be like last year. You're going to barely be able to even see what you want to see.
It's true.
Unless you get there a little earlier, stay a little late, or it just depends. I'm sure if you really play the cards right, you can kind of sneak in and out some places and try and accomplish what you need to accomplish. But for the most part, you're just going to be like every corner you turn, there's going to be somebody there. So
no, it's different. It's because last year we had our channel was probably a fourth or a third of the size. You know what I mean? And now it has grown a lot more and way more exposure and visibility with our channel. So it is going to be like that. And I eat that up because like I love engaging with people that have watched us over the last 12 months.
Have you looked into the GIE Expo app? There's an app that they have which helps you plan a little bit.
I saw the map.
Yeah.
I was using the map as like they gave
the map on the app. Or I'm just talking about the map.
Well, they gave me the physical one, and then I lost that in 10 seconds.
Yeah. So you found the app.
So I found the app because we were lost.
Right.
Like I always had to call like customer service or you or something like, come find me. Where are you at? I'm by the red mulch distributor guy. Right. Like, oh, I know where you're at. I'm coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, because it's huge. I mean, people have no idea.
It is.
It's
it really
like, dude, 20, 30,000 people go through that mill. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And literally, like, if you see like everything for a minute, you can't see everything or whatever the stat is.
Right.
And it's so overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely, I've already looked at the map and the vendors that I want to visit.
Right.
And I think that's where people should start.
Yeah.
Well,
and the app is good for that because not only does it have the map, but you can also make notes. Of like what you want to see and all that kind of stuff. So you can literally plot everything on that app. You don't have to have a separate notebook or any kind of stuff like that.
Smart.
You can just look at the map. You can click on stuff and you can make notes to where you want to go, so that you can just pull it up and you see exactly what your agenda is.
Well, then I need to get in on that.
Yeah.
Because I know
it doesn't mean you'll be able to follow it, but at least it gives you a starting point.
Well, I know you can like search, right? In the app, I know you can search because that's what I found like all the booths.
Right.
Because some company might have like an umbrella company, so you got to make sure like who you're finding because that's why it's tough. Like you might not know where they're at, so you do have to pre-plan.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to be.
And then you can make some notes too, so that when you're there and you're being overwhelmed by people,
and
you're like, okay, why am I at this booth again? You look at it and you're like, oh, that's right, I need to ask them about this.
Totally.
And then you can just kind of get back on track. So.
I like it.
Just in closing, what would you say is like the meaning of the GIE Expo? Like compared to like, you said you've been to other expos and everything. Like what sets the GIE Plus Expo apart?
I think for me personally, it was getting probably reinvigorated or recharged at the end of the season, like counting all of our ducks that hatched or whatever you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
because we're all coming in there, on fumes. We've had a long season.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are tired or burned out, or you're getting ready for snow, right? But it's been a long season, so it's always cool to like talk to everybody. Hey, how was your season? How was this? And see all the newest stuff from the companies that is going to get you excited for next year's season. So for me, it's a time to recharge.
Timing is good. The timing of it. So if it was in the middle of the summer, it would lose a little bit of the impact.
Yeah, just because I feel like we're all so busy.
Right.
And if it was in February, March, my attitude and mindset would still be on snow removal to a degree, because up here in Michigan at least,
right.
In the Midwest.
Right.
But I think it's a fun time just because you get to meet so many people, see how their year went. You get to see all this new stuff coming out from all the companies.
Right.
So for me personally,
you get pumped for the next year.
Totally. Because then I started, like most people, I started thinking purchase orders. I'm like, hey, I want this, this, and this. And then you start, getting your numbers in line, see what you can get, see what you want to get, see what makes sense, see what doesn't make sense, and then outside of that, it's just networking. To me personally, I mean, where else are you going to see the vice president of this company and the vice president of that company? And then not only the companies, but just the people, like guys like you and all the other people that do YouTube or have great social media followings. I just eat it all up. I mean, like, again, I wouldn't profess to say I'm an influencer or a leader in anything that we do. I'm just another guy hanging out. And I think it's so much fun to network with everybody else.
Right.
And I'm like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, that's the guy who, he's got 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it's like, you just go up and shake his hand. And he's just a regular guy. So
Right.
I think to me personally, it's just getting to engage with everybody.
Right.
So that's what it is for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me come down here and spend
Yeah.
some time talking about this. I appreciate it.
For sure, brother.
Enjoy the rest of your season and
Yeah.
Finish strong, man.
We'll do this again sometime, brother.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I want to take this time to personally thank the OPEI and the GIE Expo for their partnership to enable this video to happen. I really believe it's the best trade show in the industry. It's a great place to get together, to network with your peers and like-minded people and vendors and manufacturers, as well as to try out all the new equipment and everything that you have heard of, and to discover new things that you haven't heard of. And you can demo all of it outside, and you can talk to all of the reps inside the showroom floor while looking over the machines in greater detail. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this about the GIE Plus Expo and other cool stuff in the industry, click here. If you want to check out who I interviewed in this video, click down here. And to check out some more GIE Expo videos, click over here.